everyone, my name is NewFlowerGirl, she can call me Demi, and welcome back to another Aftertalk video. First of all, I'm going to start with some very exciting news. Hopefully by next week I will have some very good news. If not, then I'll still tell it anyway. But together with a group of other content creators, we have applied for MCC Rising, and we applied last afternoon. So for me that's like Monday. For you guys, for me it was yesterday. For you guys it was Monday. So yeah, keep in mind that there were a lot of applicants, and I also heard that Ellie Shed Lady might join in. So could be fun. But anyway. Next week, I'm gonna give you guys an update, because then we will know if we have been the lucky ones, been the chosen ones. But yeah, I'm very excited because I've watched Minecraft Championship since MCC 1, and I've missed a couple this season I've missed a couple, but that's alright, right? I'm a real OG when it comes to Minecraft Championship. I've been there since day one. So yeah. Anyway, back to the Aftertalk. I'm gonna do it this time a bit different. I'm gonna read out the race reports. So yeah. And then yeah, hopefully it has. Yeah, that's the results in there as well. We'll go over the results later. Oh my gosh, that is really long. Okay, let's see how long this will take. Scroll back up. Okay, so Max Verstappen stormed to victory over Lando Norris and Sergio Perez with another commanding performance in the Hungarian Grand Prix, giving the reigning double world champion his 7th straight triumph, and Red Bull their 12th in a row, beating McLaren's long-standing record of 11 in a row, which was from 1988. Verstappen passed pole-sitting Mercedes rival Lewis Hamilton. You heard me correct, Lewis Hamilton got pole at the start before settling into the lead and pulling clear of the chasing pack with a plump choking up a lights to flag win that puts further distance between himself and teammate Perez in the driver's standings. It means Red Bull continue their 100% winning run for the 2023 season, while setting a new outright milestone in terms of successive race wins, with their staggering tally now one clear of the 11 McLaren achieved by Ayrton Senna and Alain Prost during the 1988 campaign. That's what I said before. Verstappen took the checkered flag comfortably clear of Norris, who dropped behind fellow McLaren driver Oscar Piastri early on, but regained the place at the first round of pit stops, while Perez, one of the only two drivers, along with George Russell, to go along with the first stint on hard tyres, rose from 9th to 3rd with another strong recovery drive. I'll go over the results later on. Hamilton's hopes of turning his 104th pole into a 104th win were dashed at the start when he lost out to Verstappen, Piastri and Norris in quick succession. That's really weird. McLaren is Mercedes is also an engine supplier for McLaren, and they've just outscored them. Even at the start of the season, we've had Aston Martin, and they also outscored Mercedes. That was good. That was good fun. Before that was compounded when he fell victim to Perez's alternate strategy, but the 7-time champion at least salvaged 4th via a late move on the Australian rookie Piastri. I think we should stop calling Piastri a rookie because he drives like a pro. He drives that McLaren like it is like not his first season. At least that's what I think. I mean, he doesn't make nearly as many mistakes as Nick de Vries does. Also, de Vries has been dropped. Speaking of him, he had been dropped. And that meant Daniel Ricciardo was able to come back. But we'll go over that like in a bit, hopefully in the air. Leclerc crossed the line in 6th position, but dropped behind the other Mercedes of Russell, who battled his way from 18th after the checkered flag when a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane was applied, with Ferrari teammate Carlos Sainz coming home 8th. Yeah. I didn't watch all of the race because I had to sprint upstairs for the application video. So I just had the McLaren app open on my phone to see whatever was happening. There was no safety car. There was legit no safety car during this race. Well, there is normally a big chance of there being a safety car. Anyway, Aston Martin ended an anonymous race weekend with a minor double point finish. Fernando Alonso, the last driver to stay on the same lap as winner Max Verstappen in 9th, and teammate Lance Stroll finishing 1 tour down in 10th to round out the points. Fresh from their recent point-scoring exploits, Alex Albon and Williams had to settle for 11th this time out, followed by the lead Alfa Romeo of Valtteri Bottas in 12th, after the Hinwil team's flying high qualifying display turned sour on race day through incidents and a general lack of pace. Indeed, Zhou Guanyu's fifth place starting position became a lowly 16th on race day after he tried to make up for a slow getaway and ran into an F1 returnee Daniel Ricciardo at the start, triggering a 4-car collision that led to both Alpine drivers retiring from proceedings once again. Esteban Ocon had to go to the medical center for that. Not because of any reason you might think. His seat broke. I know that's not like supposed to happen, but his seat broke, and yeah, that's basically what caused him to have terrible pain in his back, and then he had to go to the med center. I hope he's okay. I think he is okay though. But yeah. Well done. The first time when something that is supposed to stay in one piece broke. It just split in half, like right at the back. It's like you have like the seat like right here. You have here the heads, there the feet. It just broke like this. Because of how severe the impact was. When he basically got launched onto Gasly. And yeah. He was sideways. Yeah. Yeah. Ricciardo recovered to take 13th in his first race back since the 2022 season finale in Abu Dhabi, ahead of Haas driver Nico Hülkenberg, AlphaTauri teammate Yuki Tsunoda, and the aforementioned Joe, and final finisher Kevin Magnussen. Williams rookie Logan Sargent pulled into the pits after a late spin, with Esteban Ocon and Pierre Gasly doing the same in the early stages due to the significant damage their cars picked up in the chaos sparked by Joe. With the penultimate round before summer break completed, Verstappen now holds a 110-point lead over Perez in a 2023 title race, having also claimed the bonus point on offer for posting the fastest tour of the 70 lap encounter. Basically, tour is lap. So yeah. Now we're gonna go to a part for like as it happens. I don't know what this is. At a thrilling qualifying session which saw Hamilton pip Verstappen and Norris to pole under Pirelli's alternative tyre allocation, there was plenty of intriguing over race day performance levels and whether drivers would go for 2 stops or even 3 stops in the fierce mid-afternoon heat. It was hot there, like 50 degrees Celsius. 50. Not Fahrenheit, Celsius. Like that's hot. Well, the track temperature was 50. But yeah, it was hot there. It was hot there. Imagine having a dark coloured suit. Like Verstappen and Norris. And then you have AlphaTauri who just have white. They're lucky. When the tyre blankets came off, it was revealed that most of the field, including the top 8 drivers, would be starting on the medium compound, with Sainz, Stroll, Gasly and Tsunoda going bold on softs and Perez and Russell opting for hards. An electrifying start saw Verstappen get a jump on Hamilton off the line, slip down the inside approaching turn 1 and make the move stick at the apex, where Piastri took advantage of the pair going deep by taking the inside line, slothing between them and snatching 2nd position. Hamilton's regression continued as Norris leaped ahead with a fine move around the outside of turn 2. While a little further back, a slow starting Joe attempted to make up for lost ground but tagged Ricciardo, who then ran into Ocon, who subsequently hit teammate Gasly. Disastrous scenes followed for Alpine, with both Gasly and Ocon having picked up significant damage on their respective cars, pulling into the pits to retire from the race, making a second successive double DNF for the Enstone squad. After that drama, Verstappen comfortably led the way from Piastri, crucially getting out of the DRS window, followed by Norris, the demoted Hamilton, who apologized to Mercedes over the radio for his start. We heard that on the radio. Like he just blamed himself and not others. Hamilton has changed since 2021. We can definitely see the change. And I'm happy. He's become more a sportsman than blaming other people. And the Ferraris of Leclerc and Sainz, the latter making up several places on his soft tyres. Sainz had a terrible qualifying and he made up a lot of spaces during the start. Few seconds behind, Alonso and Perez were busy squabbling over 7th and 8th positions, with the Red Bull man making a DRS-assisted move into turn 1 on lap 8 as Hülkenberg and Stroll held the final points-paying position. Alfa Romeo were the big losers at the start, Joe almost stalling off the line as he tumbled down the order and made that aforementioned contact, with Ricciardo picking up a 5-second time penalty for his actions, while Bottas dropped to 12th in the turn 1 bottleneck. The man who replaced him at Mercedes, Russell, on his tail after rising from 18th. On lap 9, we saw Albon come into the pits to swap his medium tyres for hards, followed a lap later by Stroll, Bottas and Tsunoda, who also took the white-marked rubber, but Sainz held firm on his starting set of softs and resisted Ferrari's call to box. He did rather well on those softs, I have to say. They held up very nicely. By lap 15, Verstappen was more than 5 seconds clear of Piastri, with Norris a couple of seconds further back, as Hamilton remained 4th from the Ferraris of Leclerc and Sainz, who began to come under pressure from the hard-shot Perez, shot with D. It has been written here. If I see Checo is going to pass me, I will call box. Sounds reported over the radio, to which Ferrari agreed. That strategy was dully followed by the Spaniard when the Spaniard dived into the pits on lap 16 to swap his soft tyres for hards, rejoining just outside the top 10. Hamilton was the first of the leading medium tyre runners to pit on lap 17, coming back out in 8th, with attention turning to what Verstappen and the McLarens of Piastri and Norris would do in response to the 7-time world champion. Norris reacted to pitting a lap later, following Hamilton onto hards, with Leclerc also coming in, but enduring a delayed pit stop due to a sticky tyre. That's always happening to Leclerc. And losing a hatful of position, forcing the Monegasque to find his way back through the field. Piastri stopped at the end of the next lap, while leader Verstappen continued to stretch out his opening stint. And the Australian fell victim to the undercut when he rejoined the action, as teammate Norris pulled alongside him at turn 1 and made a pass stick. Piastri had a pit stop of, from the top of my head, I believe it was 2.01. And that's not the fastest pit stop like ever. The fastest pit stop ever, right now, this season, is a 1.98. And I hear you all saying, like, why? I thought there was a rule, like no under 2-second pit stops. That's also what I thought. Basically, because of the covers, I can show it on my McLaren car that I have here. Oh wait, I have it also on this car. Yeah. So like these covers, there are covers here. Because of those things, it is really difficult to make a pit stop like that. So, yeah, they changed the rules back. So Mercedes who didn't think it through. But yeah. How have they got 9 seconds already? That's a crazy amount. Hamilton commented over the radio after that flurry of stops, seemingly in reference to Norris and Piastri putting some significant distance between themselves and his Mercedes. Well, Mercedes isn't really good at the fast pit stops. They are good at double stack, like without losing time, and Ferrari is too. But yeah. Solo pit stops they need to get better at. Lap 23 was the moment for Verstappen and Red Bull, with the Dutchman pitting to swap mediums for hards and having enough in hands over the field behind to come out in the lead. Hard starters Perez running P2 and Russell P5, the only two drivers yet to stop. Perez's stop would come to the 24th lap, followed by Russell, who had moved aside for teammate Lewis Hamilton on the 29th, as the pair continued their alternate strategies with a second stint on medium tyres, while the other 16 remaining drivers pounded around on hards. Up front, Verstappen still had a 5-second margin over second place, as Norris set a similar margin clear of Piastri in the developing intra-team McLaren battle. Meanwhile, having started on pole, Hamilton was now more than 20 seconds off the lead. After his stop, Perez pulled off a sequence of aggressive moves, clearing Sainz into turn 1 and Russell into turn 2 in a quick succession, to rise to 5th, meaning Hamilton was the next target, and the podium finish was not out of the question. Just reel him in, was the message from the Red Bull pit wall. Sainz and Leclerc remained 6th and 7th for Ferrari, Alonso, Stroll, Bottas holding the final points. Russell occupying 13th on his fresh hard tyres and starting his charge towards the top 10 with a pass on Tsunoda at turn 1. second stint developed, and the race hit its halfway mark, tongue twister, Verstappen stretched his advantage over Norris to 10 seconds, while Piastri started to drop away from the top two and falling into the clutches of Hamilton, who in turn had a fired up Perez approaching him. "Podium's on," was the next message to Perez, who now had Hamilton firmly in his sights and was lapping almost a second quicker than Piastri and Norris ahead, while Russell was showing similar impressive pace to work his way up to 9th. The tyres are not bad, but they don't feel that good, Norris reported over the radio when asked for an update for the McLaren camp, as he fell more than 15 seconds behind Verstappen, and the threat from Perez behind continued to grow. There was also some radio chatter at Ferrari, who shut down messages from Leclerc as he arrived at the rear of teammate Sainz's car. The Italian team stressing that they are on it as they ploughed on in distant P6 and 7 positions. On lap 43, Piastri and Perez pitted from their front running positions for medium tyres, with the Red Bull crew completing an incredible 1.9 stop to release their man on the tail of the McLaren, who suffered a slightly delayed service. 2 laps later, Norris was in for his own set of mediums, coming back out with a comfortable margin over the delayed Piastri and the chasing Perez behind, while Verstappen and Hamilton continued and eked some more life out of their hard tyres. There was also a sluggish stop for Aston Martin man Alonso, meaning his hard work to catch the Ferraris came undone. But Leclerc was subsequently noted for potentially speeding in the pit lane, resulting in a 5-second time penalty that would need to be served at the pits or at the finish. By lap 47, Perez was all over the rear of Piastri's car and made a smart move stick around the outside of turn 1 before putting his elbows out at turn 2 to keep the Australian rookie behind him and continue to charge towards the podium positions. Hamilton's second stop came on lap 50, continuing the trend of medium tyres for the final stint, followed by Verstappen on lap 52 with no dramas to report for either the Mercedes or Red Bull mechanics, and the leading positions remained unchanged. With just under 20 laps remaining, Hamilton lit up the timing screens again to slash the gap to Piastri and get within the DRS range, making the move feel inevitable when he tucked behind down the start-finish straight and slipped past into turn 1 on lap 57. Yeah, they're long sentences, guys. Each paragraph is a sentence. They have to get out of the way so many blue flags, Norris shouted over the radio as the race moved into its final 10 laps, with the Britons starting to come under pressure from Perez, who now sat under 3 seconds behind his flying Red Bull. But once clear of traffic, Norris had enough in hand to edge away again, maintain position and make it to the flag between Verstappen and Perez, meaning there were no changes to the podium finish. Hamilton had threatened to attack Perez in the closing laps, but ultimately fell 1.5 seconds short as he settled for 4th ahead of Piastri and teammate Russell, who passed Sainz late on and then benefited from Leclerc's time penalty. Alonso and Stroll rounded out the points for Aston Martin with another quiet display from the green machines, nonetheless denying Albon and Williams and Bottas and Alfa Romeo, whose day promised to be much more. Ricciardo took 13th after getting caught up in a lap 1 melee with Hulkenberg, Tsunoda, Joe and Magnussen, the last drivers to make the finish. Sargent pitting after a spin at the chicane on the penultimate lap, and Alpine pair Ocon and Gasly watching from the sidelines. Key note: for the team, 12 wins in a row is just incredible, said race winner Max Verstappen. What we've been doing for the last 2 years have been incredible. Hopefully we can keep this momentum going for a long time. Also, just to work with the whole team is very enjoyable. It's always good to look into what happened in qualifying yesterday. For example, to keep pushing, always wanting to do better. But days like these are just perfect. The next stop on the F1 2023 calendar will be Spa-Francorchamps, the Belgium Grand Prix weekend, which takes place from July 28th to July 30th. Yeah, I know we're a little short on time, but I have one thing to show you guys, and that is this. Sound is off, okay, good. This happened during the podium ceremony. That was Max's trophy. But they were able to laugh about it, which is good. Yeah. That's not been the first time that he's done that. And if you ever get onto the podium with Lando Norris, keep in mind that your trophy should be placed in the middle or on the ground and not on the podium. Like, make sure that they are safe. But you know, these guys are, Max and Lando are besties, so they are able to laugh about it. I mean, I think even if it was Hamilton who did it, I think they were still able to laugh about it. Because, like, it's funny, it's kind of funny. Even though the person who made the trophy, he spent a lot of time, but Max is gonna get a replacement. Yeah. Anyways, thank you all very much for watching. If you did enjoy this kind of Aftertalk, you know, the race report and not just saying from what I have seen, then please let me know in the comments down below. Also consider subscribing if you don't want to miss any more Aftertalk videos. If I do get into Minecraft Championship, I will be streaming on Twitch at my boyfriend's house. Like, not with facecam, obviously. I'm gonna try to stream at his house. If not, then I will not stream. I will just record. But yeah, we're gonna do a test stream at some point at his house. So yeah, but without camera, obviously. I'm gonna do like a small little test stream. I'm gonna be probably using like a crappy mic. I might try and bring this one, but we'll see. Yeah, if it's all possible, then I will bring this one for the actual event. But yeah, if we get in, I'm gonna do a couple of test streams at his place. Probably by the time we might get glass fiber internet, I'm gonna try and stream then from my place. If Java runs smoothly, then we'll be fine. But I don't think we'll get glass fiber internet very soon. So it will definitely be at my boyfriend's house. So yeah. But anyway, thank you all very much for watching. Like the video while you're at it, subscribe if you're new. But that's it from me for now, and I shall see you guys in another video. Bye!